How's it going, guys? Links Forte here, bringing you my week 3 team builder going up against CrimsonCBAD and the Detroit Steel Wings. And let me just say this right up front, you guys. This is not going to be my best prep. I had a lot of stuff going on while I was trying to prep, and then I had to get the prep in when I could. So this team is really not the best as far as my prep goes. So it's for me to win this battle, it's going to come down to my battling, just straight up and foremost. That being said, Chase does have a really good team just to go along with like him being a great battler. Let's look at his team real quick. It is just a rain team. Mamoswine, Salamence. He just picked up Roserade and dropped Heliolisk. He has Donphan, Mega Swampert, Pelipper, Scizor, Alakazam, Sock. He just picked up Rotom and got rid of Tangela, I think it was, yeah. So basically he swapped his grass and electric types. And then he also has Sneasel. So I really think it's going to be kind of easy for me to predict this team. Like, I think it's going to be like Mamo, Salamence, Roserade, Mega Swampert, Pelipper, and Scizor. I mean, I can easily see like Alakazam coming or Rotom coming, but like outside of like those 8, I don't see the other 3 coming. Donphan could come, but I don't think he brings Donphan and Mamo could potentially put in work against my team. So there's that. I just think like Donphan in this case just gives me too much to work with. It gives me too much time to set something up. I don't think Donphan works for me in this case. Sock is an interesting Pokemon. I think he would need to run it like a choice band set or something like that. So if I have something to resist whatever hit he goes for, you know, I could just like take advantage of that as well. Sneasel is a hard hitter, but I don't think it hits hard enough. That's why I think like that's the reason why I just think those 3 Pokemon in general don't come. But I did try to build my team the best I could, just to prepare for any and everything, because that's just how I team build. But with that said, let's just jump right into the team. First off, I am bringing Celesteela, expert belt. Now this EV spread is not weird at all. Basically, I wanted to run Tautomized, right? Because I don't want to have to run a choice. Like whenever I play someone, because my team is so slow, it's probably like one of the slowest teams, if not the slowest team in the league. I'm probably going to be running a choice scarf on something, right? This week I did not want to run a choice scarf. Also, you know what? I'll get to this at the end of it. I was just going to mention something, but I'll try to get to it at the end of it if I remember. But I don't want to have to run a choice scarf, which is why I decided to bring a Tautomize here. Max special attack, 244 speed. What this does is after an Tautomize, I outspeed Adamant, Swampert in the rain. So that's why I am bringing this, because if Swampert is jolly and it's max speed, I don't outspeed it anyway. The only other thing that could outspeed me is if it's like choice scarf. Like it has to be, I think it's like base 98 choice scarf Pokemon can outspeed Celesteela after an Autotomize. So that's why that's there. The four EVs and HP defense in Spadef is because when I was just putting EVs in, you know what, why not just bulk the bulk up? Because if I was putting 8 in something at level 50, if you put 8 in something, you're not going up by 2 points. Usually you're only going up by like 1. So I was like, you know what, just let's just spread the bulk out. And I think like the HP at 12 was only going up by 2. Like I think it was like 12 EVs that needed to go up by 2. So I was like, yeah, you know what, let's just spread it around. And so that's what I did. That was basically it for that. Giga Drain for the Mints, and that's or not the Mints, I'm sorry, it's for the Mamoswine or the Donphan, and that's why I just think like Donphan doesn't come, because this gives me too many opportunities to set up. Like if he leads off Donphan, right, I Autotomize and I start Giga Draining, and then he's forced to switch out at that point, and I outspeed his entire team, like I said, barring a choice scarf. Originally I had Air Slash over Flamethrower, probably, and I was sitting here thinking like, why do I have Air Slash? And I'm looking at it like, maybe it's because of the rain and I can make sure I'm hitting Scizor hard. And then I actually calculated like I hit Scizor harder even in the rain with the Flamethrower, so I stuck Flamethrower in there. And then I was like, Pelipper could be an issue. Like I can't really do much to it. I could Giga Drain and HP Ice it, but At that point, that thing is just like, it's weird to say, but that thing is just outstalling me if he has Roost on it. So I have to try to figure it out. Like originally I was like, Celesteela could probably be my lead. I could just set up and go from there, but I'll figure that out as the battle goes on. Next up, I am bringing Sylveon. This is more of a support set than the last 2 weeks. It's max HP, 100 defense, 152 in SPDEF, and then the 4 in special attack. Hyper Voice, Hidden Power, Fire, Wish, and Protect. The 100 defense EVs with the HP, what it allows me to do is allows me to live a max bullet punch from Scizor, max adamant bullet punch from Scizor, barring a life orb. A life orb, it's a roll. If it's choice banded, it's a straight Oko. So I can kind of gauge, depending on where my health is, I can kind of gauge it. And then if he's like an SD variant, I just hit it with an HP fire, and then I'm doing a bunch of damage to it. So I would force him to kill me at that point. I'm not just gonna let him, this just allows it to where I'm not being forced out. I can just scout him out. I can force him to attack me or something like that. Yeah, you figure all that out during the battle, right? But I do have to be careful because, like I said, this is a rain team, and I wouldn't be surprised if Pelipper is carrying like Damp Rock this week. Although I would be like, I still did prep for like a Choice Scarf or something like that. And speaking of preparing for a Choice Scarf, I am bringing Assault Vest Keldeo. Max special attack, max speed. The Assault Vest allows me to live, I believe it was a max. Yeah, I can live a max Hurricane, a max special attack Hurricane from Pelipper. So and then I can hit with HP Electric. Now the Aqua Jet is like to chip away at like Swampert or Mega Swampert. Like if I'm coming in at full, I think I could take one Earthquake. I hit it with Scald, and then I can't remember if I take it out. Like if it's in the rain, I hit it with a Scald, and then I do extra damage. I can't remember if I take it out with Aqua Jet or not, but this is why I meant by like my prep is not the best right now, because I just didn't have the time. Icy Wind, slow his team down, and then hit the Salamence, and then the Roserade if need be for the extra damage. Next up, I am bringing Mega Glalie. This one is a special variant, max special attack, max speed, timid nature, freeze you dry, Ice Shard, Shadow Ball, Hidden Power, Fire. Again, this is just so Scizor like isn't trying to force me out or anything like that. I do outspeed Scizor. I can't remember. I don't think I take a bullet punch. If I do, it's probably on the same level as like Sylveon taking the bullet punch, which is probably why I put the 4 in defense there. Shadow Ball is to hit to hit Alakazam. Ice Shard to pick something off. Freeze Dry hits a lot of his team, kind of in the same way that it hit John's, like it hit like half of John's team last week. Freeze Dry allows me to hit like half of his team as well. It can technically hit Mamoswine, but because of Thick Fat, you don't really have to count that one. But Salamence gets Oko, gets destroyed by it. Ice Shard destroys Salamence, honestly. Well, barring like Intimidate. It takes on Roserade, takes on Mega Swampert, takes on Donphan, takes on Pelipper. It's just gonna come down to me trying to predict stuff or playing around everything right. So like Mega Glalie, just like last week, goes against half his team, so I had to obviously bring it. Next up, I am bringing Kecleon, carrying Focus Sash, max HP, max defense, relaxed nature, fake out Grass Knot, Shadow Sneak, and Stealth Rock. Last week I felt like I needed rocks and I didn't bring it, and this week I feel the same way. I need rocks, so I wanted to make sure I bring it. He has 3 defoggers and a rapid spinner, so it's going to be kind of hard to keep them on the field. But if I can like force the rapid spin, hey, I might be able to use it to my advantage or something like that. Grass Knot, I don't think it O-code Mega Swampert, but it did a lot to where like a Shadow Sneak after the fact either takes it out or it's like at little health. So yeah, that's the Kecleon, and that's the reason Kecleon is here. It basically, it's whatever. Next up, and last but not least, I should say, I am bringing Dhelmise, Assault Vested, max HP, max defense. I think it's the same set I brought last week as far as the EVs and the nature is concerned. Hidden Power, Ice, Power Whip, Shadow Claw, and Rapid Spin. I can take any one hit, like if it's an Ice Punch, I could take that from Mega Swampert. Anything else, I could take probably 2 hits from Mega Swampert. And then Oko it back. HP Ice is for the mints. I think I can take a Fire Blast. Like I said, I didn't do my best prep here. These last 2 Pokemon, Kecleon and Dhelmise, like I wanted rocks, and then I was like, you know, Dhelmise to keep hazards off the field because it is my only way to remove hazards. And then Shadow Claws for Zam, because I can do a lot of damage to Zam. But that is the team for this week. The one thing I wanted to mention is, so early on, I was in a call with Nidor, coach of the Montreal Expos. And I was just building, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to slap an Assault Vest on this because it works. I'm going to slap an Assault Vest on this because it works. And that original team had 4 Pokemon with an Assault Vest, right? And he and I were in call, and I was just like, dude, this is an Oprah team. It's you get an Assault Vest, you get an Assault Vest, you get an Assault Vest. So I scrapped that team, obviously, because like it was like a quick prep. It was, I think I did that team in probably like 15 minutes without like going back over, because I usually do my teams in like 15 to 20 minutes and then I go back over it. But that team was just like, no, that wasn't gonna work. I knew that from the get-go. So I scrapped that team and started over. And then I made this team. And I was like, yeah, we'll do the Oprah team some other time. This turned out to be an Oprah team, because if you look at the entire team, once again, 5 of the Pokemon have a hidden power. So you get a hidden power, you get a hidden power, you get a hidden power. Everybody has a hidden power except Kecleon, because it needed to do other things. So I ended up with my Oprah team, and we'll see how this goes. Like I didn't try to make that happen. It just sort of happened. When I like finished the team is what I realized. I was like, oh my gosh, everybody has a hidden power. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow at the battle. This is Lynx Forte. I'm out. Peace.